From Washington, D.C., the world news from VOA on Radyo Katipunan, 87.9 FM.
This is VOA News. I'm Tommy McNeil. Vladimir Putin is extending his tenure as Russia's longest-serving leader despite quiet yet widespread protests. Details from VOA's Arash Arabasadi.
At polling stations across the country, civil disobedience overlapped with civic duty. Vandals tainted ballots, pouring ink in ballot boxes, attempting to render votes illegible. With arson burning another polling station in the Sverdlovsk region. While in St. Petersburg, a woman hurled a Molotov cocktail at a polling station before authorities captured her as she tried to escape. The 2024 Russian presidential election marks the second in which residents of Ukraine's illegally annexed territory of Crimea cast their ballots. Ukrainian officials call it a sham. Arash Arabasadi, VOA News.
Russian President Vladimir Putin said that he supported an idea to release late opposition leader Alexei Navalny in a prisoner exchange just days before the man who was his biggest foe died. VOA's Joe Ramsey has details.
In his first comments to address Navalny's death, Putin said of the dissident's demise, quote, "It happens, there's nothing you can do about it, it's life." Putin said Monday, also without offering any evidence, that several days before Navalny's death, certain colleagues told him about, quote, an idea to exchange Navalny for certain people held in penitentiary facilities in Western countries. He said he supported the idea. A Navalny aide last month accused Putin of getting rid of Navalny in order to not exchange him, but offered no evidence to back her claims. Joe Ramsey, VOA News.
The U.S. is scrambling to assess the future of its counterterrorism operation in the Sahel region of Africa after the ruling junta in Niger announced it's ending its military cooperation with Washington. The U.S. military has hundreds of troops stationed at major air bases in a country that is used to deploy flights over the vast region. This is VOA News. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu Sunday hit back during a speech made last week, or at a speech made last week, by the U.S. Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer. Netanyahu said Schumer's comments calling for new elections in Israel were totally inappropriate. Reuters correspondent Zachary Goldman reports.
Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu on Sunday pushed back fiercely against what he described as international pressure over the war in Gaza. At a cabinet meeting, he said, "To our friends in the international community, I say, is your memory so short? So quickly you forgot about October 7th, the worst massacre committed against Jews since the Holocaust?" And he repeated his determination to send forces into Rafah, the city on the border with Egypt, overrun by civilian refugees who fled their shattered homes elsewhere in the Gaza Strip.
That is Reuters' Zachary Goldman reporting. European Union announced a €7.4 billion or $8 billion aid package for a cash-strapped Egypt as concerns mount that economic pressure and conflicts in neighboring countries could drive more migrants to European shores. Egyptian officials say the deal was signed during a visit Sunday by European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen. Leaders of Belgium, Italy, Austria, Cyprus, and Greece were also present. North Korea has fired multiple short-range ballistic missiles toward its eastern waters, days after the end of the South Korea-U.S. military drills that the North views as an invasion rehearsal. The launches were North Korea's first known missile testing activities in about a month. Guatemala says officers of its honorary consul in Haiti have been ransacked. AP correspondent Lawrence Brooks.
As Haiti once again spirals into chaos with another wave of gang violence, a number of government and aid agencies have reported that their facilities and aid supplies have been looted. Gangs have raged through Haiti in recent weeks, attacking key institutions and shutting down the main international airport. The chaos has pushed many Haitians to the brink of famine and left many more in increasingly desperate conditions. On Saturday, UNICEF said one of its containers holding essential items for maternal, neonatal and child survival, including resuscitators, were looted in the capital's main port, which was breached by gangs last week. I'm Lawrence Brooks.
Meanwhile, a charter flight carrying dozens of U.S. citizens fleeing spiraling gang violence in Haiti landed in Miami. The U.S. State Department officials said that more than 30 U.S. citizens were on the government-chartered flight on Sunday, arriving at Miami International Airport after the U.S. Embassy in Haiti earlier this month urged U.S. citizens to leave.
World News on Radyo Katipunan 87.9 FM. Brought to you by the Voice of America.
3 o'clock prayer. You died, Jesus, but the source of life flowed out for souls, and the ocean of mercy opened up for the whole world. O fountain of life, immeasurable divine mercy, cover the whole world and empty yourself out upon us. O blood and water, which flowed out from the heart of Jesus as a fountain of mercy for us, I trust in you. Holy God, Holy Mighty One, Holy Immortal One, have mercy on us and the whole world. Holy God, Holy Mighty One, Holy Immortal One, have mercy on us and the whole world. Holy God, Holy Mighty One, Holy Immortal One, have mercy on us and the whole world. Amen. Jesus, King of Mercy, we trust in you.
Radyo Katipunan. News, insights, inspiration. Radyo Katipunan. Down from the hill and down to the world. Radyo Katipunan. The voice of the Blue Eagle.
Radyo, 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 Katipunan. Radyo, Katipunan. Radyo, Katipunan. Radyo, 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 Katipunan. Radyo, 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 Katipunan. The voice of the Blue Eagle, kami di mapipigil sa pagbabalitang tumpak at tama. Buhay atenista, sa loob sa labas ng eskwela, ating ibibida lahat ng eskwela. Radyo, radyo, Katipunan. Radyo, 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 Katipunan. Radyo, Katipunan. Radyo, Katipunan. Kawal ni Ignacio, Katipunero sugod, todo sa kayod, tulong at tulong. Lipad na Blue Eagle, galing hiting at tigil, blue and white, one big fight. Radyo, 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 Katipunan. Radyo, 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 Katipunan. Radyo, Katipunan. Radyo, Katipunan. Radyo, radyo, Eagle, Radyo Katipunan.
Radyo, 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 Katipunan. Radyo, Katipunan. Radyo, Katipunan. Radyo, 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 Katipunan. Radyo, 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 Katipunan. Voice of the Blue Eagle, kami di mapipigil sa pagbabalitang tumpak at tama. Buhay atenista, sa loob sa labas ng eskwela, ating ibibida lahat ng eskwela. Radyo, 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 Katipunan. Radyo, 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 Katipunan. Radyo, Katipunan. Radyo, Katipunan. Kawal ni Ignacio, Katipunero sugod, todo sa kayod, tulong at tulong. Lipad na Blue Eagle, galing giting at tigil, blue and white, one big fight. Radyo, 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 Katipunan. Radyo, 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 Katipunan. Radyo, Katipunan. Radyo, Katipunan. Radyo, 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 Katipunan. Radyo, Katipunan.
The voice of the Blue. Radyo Katipunan.
Checking out the latest happenings in, around, and beyond Katipunan. This is the Katipunan Roundup. Katipunan Roundup.
Radyo Katipunan 87.9 FM, the voice of the Blue Eagle. Welcome to the Katipunan Roundup, where we bring you the ins, outs, and all abouts of the place we call home, Katipunan Avenue. How's it going, everyone? I'm Teo, and with me is...
Iana.
Hello. Today is March 18, 2024, the 78th day of the year. So, yun, it's a Monday. It's a very slightly rainy Monday.
Right? Like kind of hot and rainy.
Yeah. It like the weather couldn't make up its mind.
Exactly.
Sort of indecisive. Like me. Anyway, any birthdays for today?
Yes, we are celebrating some pretty significant birthdays today. So we're celebrating Ben Cohen's birthday. He turned 73 today. This is actually a pretty interesting name on the list because I think people know him most for his counterpart, for him and his counterpart, Ben and Jerry. So he is the co-founder of Ben and Jerry's Ice Cream, and he turned 73 today. We're also celebrating the birthday of rapper, actress, and singer Queen Latifah. She turns 54 today. Actor Lily Collins, she turns 35. Actor Eva Noblezada, she turns 28 today. And it is also the 12th Philippine President, Fidel Ramos, he also would have been 96 today.
Yes. So yun. So also, like, from my end, just want to give a quick shout out to birthdays to teacher Bernice Esteban, one of my teachers in high school, and to my good friend Althea Santos. Althea, happy birthday to you. Anyone from your end you want to greet, or
just everybody with a March 18 birthday?
Woo!
In general, all over the world.
Yes.
But yes.
Where can they find us? Yeah.
They can find us. You guys can listen to us on campus at 87.9 FM. That's within Ateneo, everybody. And if you're off campus or if you're on campus and you'd like to listen to us online, you can listen to us at zeno.fm/RK879FM.
Yes, and hello to all of you watching us live on Facebook and YouTube, on our Facebook and YouTube accounts, as well as those of you following us on X and Instagram. So joining us today on the Roundup, later we'll be having from Out of the Blue, Ateneo High School Batch 74, we have Tonette Rivera and Joel Lopa. They'll be joining us in a bit, as well as some people from the Thesis productions for this season, Fluid and Revelacion. So they'll join us in a moment. But first, so we're gonna be having the Thesis Prods in a while, which I just wanted to talk about like Ateneo Theater, because I feel like it's one of those, and I genuinely, I feel like I've come to terms with realizing, I guess I really do like theater.
Why is it like an admission? Like, you know what? I do like
theater. I don't know,
theater.
because I always felt like, what if I'm just a TV kid? What if I'm just a kid who just likes, watching TV shows? So I'm not a movie guy. I'm not that much of a film person. But like, I don't know, when I'm watching a play, I'm invested. And I feel like Ateneo Theater has such, these plays that are... make you get invested in the plot. I think my favorite one that I've ever seen in Ateneo is Alpha Kappa Omega.
I see.
Which is the theatrical production based on the movie Batch 81 by Mike De Leon.
I see. Who staged it?
It was Tanghalang Ateneo.
Wonderful.
So that for me, honestly, I think I had goosebumps by the end of it. Like, I was just so in awe of it. And it was just an amazing experience to watch. What about you, Iana? Like, any plays that come to mind? Sort of like, what's your favorite, Ateneo produced play? Kind of.
Well, I might be biased, but I did kind of get into the Ateneo Theater game a little bit late. Kind of last semester, I started to watch and work on more plays. Just last semester, so I did join Dr. Missy Maramara's Theater 101 class, and we staged a play ourselves, and we actually sold tickets for it, which felt very grown up, felt very adult. Instead of us just doing it for a class, felt it was a whole other experience.
It was legit,
right?
This one.
To like have people there and like to know that they're sitting there and that they've paid good money to go and see this show. So it was called Magdalena Pray For Us. You guys might have seen the posters.
Oh, I think I did.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So yeah, I did the sound and the marketing for that show, and so we took so much pride in the fact that we actually sold out most of the days, I think. Or on the last day, we had to add more chairs to Gonzaga Theater.
What a W.
To accommodate, right?
Massive W.
Right.
Yes.
So yeah, so that was a really interesting theater experience overall, and like to see it all come together and come to life. So interesting.
Yeah. I also wanted to discuss like sort of I don't know, because like there are things that we enjoy about Ateneo Theater, but there are also some things that we kind of get peeved at, like some pet peeves of Ateneo Theater. I want to ask first you before I get to mine, because I feel like I'm gonna get in sort of a diatribe when I start talking about my my pet peeve
because he's a theater kid.
About watching plays in Ateneo. Yeah.
Oh, for me, I think mine would be maybe people using their phone in the theater. Sometimes it's a little understandable because it's like sometimes there's an emergency. Sometimes we really have to be in touch with somebody for something. But yeah, I mean, like to kind of be seeing a show and then you're all sitting together in the dark and then suddenly this beam of light shoots up from the side. It's like, oh, well, I'm kind of out of it now.
As in, like you see like this one random light in the audience, like window of God? No, it's some guy answering a text, which is like, I don't know, it's disrespectful to the audience. It's disrespectful to the audience who like now they have something in the periphery. It's also disrespectful to the cast who's like working hard to work on that. And also, my personal pet peeve is when people make comments and you can hear them at the back. There was one time we were watching a play. My girlfriend and I were watching a play. I'm not gonna mention which one. And then like there were these people behind us who were just like making comments, trying to be like, as if they were funny in the first place. And like I couldn't concentrate. So I feel like she could sense that I was like starting to get like a bit frustrated. I was mustering up the courage to like tell them to be quiet. So I turned around. And at the same time, she turned around and we both told them, hey, can you guys just
they were up to here. They were up to here already.
It was one thing if one of us were to do it, but like for both of us to do it.
And simultaneously.
Yeah.
You guys were a united front.
Yes.
At that point.
Funny how you call it a united front.
Right?
Literally two people just telling the audience at the back, cool it.
Right, like against all people chattering in the middle of the show.
Oh my gosh. So yes, let this be a reminder to our fellow Katipuneros and Ateneans, those of you watching. If you're gonna watch a play, please zip your lips and enjoy the presentation that these people have worked so hard to bring to you.
Right, guys? It's about an hour, maybe an hour and a half, guys.
Yeah.
So.
Yun. Okay, so we also want to talk about one of the things. We want to talk about things that are happening around Ateneo. And one of the things. This is a roundup, indeed, a roundup of events. But there was one event in particular that we wanted to talk about because this slipped my mind until you reminded me a while ago. And I feel like we have to talk about it.
Yeah, it was probably a shock to the system. It's my first time hearing about anything like this being held in Ateneo.
Yeah.
Yes. So you guys might have heard about ARSA Fest. That's the Ateneo Resident Students Association. They're sort of festival, and they're having something really interesting. Is that aside from like the carnival games, the booths that they're holding, they're also gonna have a culmination night with wonderful performances. Something really interesting that they're doing tomorrow at 5 p.m. is a Pancit Canton eating contest. For the first 10 participants who are it's so interesting.
Okay, we get it. It's the college diet, but also
right. And I love that one of the instructions there on their Facebook page, which you guys can follow for more updates about the event. One of the instructions was, in case of a tiebreaker, another bowl of pancit canton will be cooked to break the tie, and so that the people with the tiebreaker can compete again, and then they'll break the tie.
Oh my god. This should be one of those events that people look forward to. Which reminds me, I did, like, we are going to introduce them later, but I do want to ask our guests right now muna, sina Tonette and Joel. Wait, what were the events that people look forward to, like people were always looking forward to during your time in Ateneo?
The only thing I can remember really is the NCAA games. We look forward to that. We look forward to all the sports events. We look forward to dismissal.
I think everyone definitely
an event.
Yes.
And then once in a while we would have parties, right?
But I think the school fair was something we looked forward to. And during our time, because that was the early 70s, so that was era of Woodstock. So we would have a rock concert to culminate the fair, the festivities of the fair. It was pretty cool because we were a much smaller community then. We were about only 600 students, and that's a whole high school population, right. Which I think is one batch now in the high school. So we were more interacting with each other. We knew the people from fourth year, the people from the different years. So we basically
The network was a lot smaller, so like,
Yeah.
people were able to-
So activities like that excite you because you see each other in a more informal setting, and you can bond with people who are older than you or younger than you. That was fun.
See, there was like a degree of familiarity.
Yeah.
Because the community was a lot more intimate.
And there was always a mad rush for the canteen during lunch because you don't want to run out of good rice and, and the hot soup that was basically free. Yeah.
I have to say that it was very different when it was not yet co-ed. So the only women in school were teachers and staff members.
So it was a different.
It was quite different.
Very different.
And then I think a year before we graduated from high school, the college became co-ed, and suddenly all of the high school students wanted to hang around the Rizal Library and
pretend to be studying.
Picking up, trying their best to pick up, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, anyway, so some things don't change, I guess. Like, I mean, like yun nga, the sort of the AHS fair, which, we're gonna be featuring soon enough. That's also one of the things that I guess people are looking forward to. So, ayun. But for those of you guys that don't know, so we do have here sina Tonette Rivera and Joa Lopa. They're from AHS Batch 74, who are celebrating their 50th anniversary this year. And so their batch have written a new book on the life stories of several graduates of the batch. And this new book is called Out of the Blue. Now, the book launches on Saturday, March 23 from 2 to 4 p.m. at the New Rizal Library, 5th floor. And they're here to talk about the book. So, we did the informal welcome. Let's do the formal welcome. Tonette, Joel, welcome to the Roundup.
Thank you very much.
So, I guess first question is, what inclined you guys, what made you guys want to create this book?
It started as an idea to simply share stories from high school and afterwards between a couple of us. And they decided to grow the group by asking more people to join who they knew to be fond of writing.
Yeah.
And then it evolved into life stories because we realized that we had been out of school for 48, 49, 50 years, and there was a lot more to tell beyond high school. And that's how it became an anthology.
Originally, I think it was just the group basically the team that formed this book project, who were going to be the contributors to the book. No? So, after a while, we thought of expanding the invitation to the bigger batch, so that we felt that it would be more representative of the batch. No? And somehow, when we made it a free-flowing thing, there's not much except that there's no particular standard or particular story you have to come up with. It was basically the basic guideline was you narrate a story, whether in school, whether after school, whether in business, and there just has to be a learning lesson in life, a life lesson that you learn from that experience that you share with the people, with the reader. That's why, because it was meant to be a legacy project. It was meant to share with maybe, hopefully, the young Ateneans now who are struggling with what they're going through and maybe questioning why they have to study certain subjects. Some of these questions will be answered here. And even like, sometimes you feel like, you're such a failure, then all of a sudden you can read some stories here of people who have failed, but they still manage to say, let's go, let's keep on fighting, and let's keep on doing something that would be productive. There are a lot of stories to be, lessons to be learned in this book, and basically that was, in fact, we didn't realize it would come out to be this, as good as we are getting the reviews from. The reviews we're getting are quite good, and that made us sort of, oops, I think we did something here.
Oh wow,
Yeah.
congratulations po.
Originally, the 7 people were quite at a loss on how to position the book, but when the stories began to come in, we realized that they kind of fell into a pattern. And one of us suggested, why don't we do the 5 stages of growth as a theme, where you're looking for yourself, and then you find yourself, you decide you like yourself, and then you begin to forget yourself because now you have a family, you have children. And then you begin to think beyond even that. You join a community, and then finally you contribute to a cause, to a higher cause. And it turned out that the people who did write, who submitted stories, their stories fell well within that range. We anonymized the stories at the beginning because we just wanted.
You wanted to make sure there was no bias.
There was no
the
bias
selection
when
process,
we edited or so forth. But
Yeah.
we were surprised at. I personally was very surprised at the quality of the stories that came in, and we were asking each other, "Who was this? I mean, who is this? Right? Whose story is this?" Because it was unforeseen. It was unexpected. Lots of stories of struggles and successes and failures.
The other thing kasi we wanted to do was, originally we thought of just having, when we thought of this, we were saying to solicit some articles from the people in the batch, and we're saying it's going to be a bit boring if it's just a compilation of writings like that. So the tendency of something like that is for people to pick and choose. They don't tend to read the whole thing. So we sort of asked our editors to help us also to come up with like a storyline, and one of the members of the group came up with the 5 stages of life. So we tweaked the storyline towards that framework, or that outline. So it sort of kind of builds up. It's like life in grade school and high school. And it's funny, the first article is, I didn't realize, because this was a contentious issue among us when we were deciding the order of the book. It's bullying in school. No?
Oh.
And so we're saying, what, the first topic is a negative topic. We were saying
start them with something.
We're saying, it's a reality that even up to now exists, right? And it's quite a big issue.
Yeah. So maybe even more now.
Yeah. So it's basically that's how it is. It's eventually
the book is divided into interesting chapters. There's 7 chapters. It starts with beginnings and ends with endings, and in between you have heroes, you have magis, so the strive for excellence, you have ad majorem, Dame Gloria. Dame Gloria is one chapter on faith and devotion. We were surprised that some of the foundations that the Ateneo gave us 50, 60 years ago continue to be a touchstone for many of the graduates, for many of our high school batchmates. Yeah.
It's nice to know that sort of that the indelible mark of Atenean education, like it stayed with them, and then and now we're seeing it sort of, I guess, concretized or sort of into that book, into that because no, what interested me, kasi was also like sort of you guys going for 5 stages of growth, because like when we say 5 stages, I immediately thought grief, growth. Okay, which is better, more optimistic, and it's also a way to sort of find sense when life doesn't seem to have any. So I'm glad that that we have this book to sort of at least we get to hear stories, or we get to learn stuff from it. Yeah.
And it's so interesting that it opens with like a story about bullying, because it can seem like a really striking parang way to open a book, but I think it helps sort of bypass like the 50-year difference that like people might be thinking when approaching the book, and to realize na, oh wow, parang this is something parang that hooks me, and it's something that parang I can relate to, and it bridges that like 50-year like difference.
I'll tell you something else that's bridging in the book. Three of the writers have passed away since they wrote their articles. This was a 2-year project, so we did have some losses during the 2 years. There are a couple of articles that are written by next of kin, so children wrote about their fathers, wives wrote about their husbands. The photographs, there are only a few photographs in the book. They illustrate chapter headings, but they were taken by one of our classmates who became a professional photographer. And another classmate threw in, when he saw that, he threw in one of his own pictures and said, "You might want to use this also." And it turned out to become the book cover.
So that's
basically this. That's a photo of the other bridges are all. Both of our editors, our book editors, were professional editors that we took in. Were Ateneans. The book designer was an Atenean, all younger than us. And then we had, as is usual with any publication in the Philippines, we submitted it for legal review. The lawyer was an Atenean.
Wow.
And they were all like, this is fantastic. I mean, they saw some changes. They saw that some things never change. But they all loved the book, right?
Yeah. There's an interesting anecdote to this book because it's kind of unique. Our forward is a poem written by one of the group members. And the epilogue, it was chosen by our editor. They suggested we suggest you take this article as your epilogue. So we said, yeah, okay. We read it and said, yeah, okay, makes sense. It's like about you're already at this age, but life still goes on, and so we move on. But it's a very strong message about not stopping with the good that you're doing. And it was written by our class valedictorian. So the book ends with a valedictory speech by our class valedictorian.
Wow.
And we didn't know. It
just so
that
happened.
was when they said it, right away we said, yeah, that has to be it. It's very fitting that he has to end this book.
It has to be him.
Yeah.
And I got... It's just blue through... May I borrow the...
Go ahead.
Sorry.
Yeah, I mean, it's called Out of the Blue, but it seems like it is also stewing in the blue.
It's stewing
like
in the
us
blue.
Today, we're all
It
dressed in
went
blue.
through another... Oh my god! I didn't even realize.
We're in the blue right now, everybody.
Everything about this book is blue. Let me go check. Never mind. Black ink. Anyway. No, but like... I don't know. It's such an interesting thing. And like sort of for this sort of... I guess a serendipitous occurrence na it's the valedictorian to to be the epilogue, as if to say sort of this is a regraduation after reading the book.
Yes,
Right,
in a way
It is, yeah.
It was
like
thesis.
No, she's a senior. No, wait. No.
I'm kidding.
Oh my gosh, but
I asked my kids, would you guys buy a book about my high school batch? And they said no. It's kind of boring, Dad. Come on. I mean, you again.
I've heard these stories over and over.
And that's why I think that's what drove us to make it a book about stories. We have a chapter called Down from the Hill, which is what we did, basically what we involved ourselves in, higher causes we involved ourselves in. So it isn't really a yearbook. It's not at all that. It's not about the Ateneo only. Only the first few stories are. The rest are like struggles in life, successes in life, what we found meaningful, what we found persistent, what we found forever, that lasts forever. So yeah.
That's so wonderful because, I mean, as somebody who's like an undergraduate, sometimes when we sing the hymn and then we say like down from the hill, and then it also makes me think, okay, what does like await me like at the end of this journey, and when I go down, down from the hill. So parang I think this is sort of an extension of that. Na
helps to understand that concept, no?
Like it fills in that gap. Na parang when we sing it as an undergraduate, okay, parang it's one thing, but then it's another to hear people who have sort of gone ahead. Just parang to hear na, oh wow, this is parang these are the things that they've gone through, in life, and this is how parang this part of their lives informed what followed. That's very interesting.
I look forward. Oh, sorry, you were saying.
Oh no, go ahead.
No, you first.
Well, down from the hill.
Yeah.
And out of the blue.
Indeed. Oh, down from the hill, out of the blue. Yeah. I'm looking forward, honestly, to I'm probably gonna pre-order, which we'll get to the information how to pre-order later. So you guys have a book launch this Saturday from 2 to 4 p.m. at the New Rizal Library.
That's right. Yes.
Yeah. So, what's gonna be happening on the book launch? Like, what can people expect?
We have a mass to start with, and then there's a program.
In true Ateneo fashion, it always starts with a mass.
Starts with a mass. And ends with refreshments.
Like any other Ateneo event,
Believe it or not, it was hard to find a priest.
Yes, that was one of our biggest problems, to find a priest.
What made it difficult?
It took 5 tries before we got one.
Basically, every priest we knew was old.
But we were asking for high demand priests, so basically it was understandable that we would get declined. Those priests are very busy people.
Yeah. We should mention that we always planned it as a non-profit. project, and so we kind of funded it internally among ourselves, the group, and then anything that we get over and above recouping the cost of the book would go towards two charities. One is the Jesuit Health and Wellness Center, and the other one is Pathways to Higher Education. So we thought that would be appropriate.
Yeah, basically, it's giving to people who mentored you and helped you, and giving to the future. Those are twofold.
Future.
As if this book wasn't already a gift.
Yeah, and it's a gift for and the proceeds are a gift to these people as well.
That's wonderful.
Well, that's another reason, I guess, why people should purchase the book.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. And how can people purchase this book online or
we're going to sell it through Pandayan, which is a bookstore, a book chain that's owned by one of our batchmates, Jun Kabuchan. Yes. So he's got the point of sale system. He's got the all the legal requirements, and you can order it from their website, Pandayan, and it's very affordable. It's nowhere what people thought it would cost, and we only have a very limited amount. We didn't dare print more than a modest quantity because we didn't want to sound too ambitious.
Note to self: pre-order later.
Be there at 12 p.m. on Saturday.
Yeah,
like lining up already outside of New Rizal Library.
He's going to New Rizal Library. He's going to sleep by the
exact camp outside.
We will be selling a few books at the launch.
More than it becomes as hot as a new iPhone, right? People sleep in the corridor.
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah. Or like UAAP tickets.
Yeah.
People are like setting up camp outside of the 5th floor.
What time do you get here? 4 a.m. Yeah. So. And also, people can pre-order the book, no? So to get your
there's a phone number that's available, but we're probably, I think there will be enough copies for sale afterwards
for the orders.
Yeah.
So no rush for.
Well, I wouldn't say no rush, but you don't need to pick up the phone right now.
Calm down, but not too much.
Tomorrow is okay.
Okay.
People were like picking up their phones. Okay.
Note to self: pre-order tomorrow. Yes. Yeah. Okay. So. So once again, Out of the Blue, Life Stories from the Ateneo High School Class of 1974. The book launch Saturday, March 23, 2 to 4 p.m. at the New Rizal Library. To pre-order, I guess we'll mention the Viber number, and then also to RSVP, I guess, for the book launch, no? Or
yes, yeah. We only prepared enough food for 5 people, so we're hoping to get multiplication of the fishes and loaves.
Who's ready for lunch? There we go.
But certainly, people are welcome if they show up. We'll find a way, and we'll have the books for sale there.
I see.
Yeah.
All right. So to order the book, they can go to the book will be available. The book will be available for order starting March 24 at shopee.ph/Pandayan Plus.
Right.
Yeah.
That's PLUS.
And if you want to pre-order, the number is 0918 644 6263. Yeah,
okay,
maybe in 48 hours the answer will be there's no more books.
You know what to do, people. You know exactly what to do. Yeah. And so before we end, thank you so much for coming over to the roundup. Before we end, would you guys like to shout out some people watching right now? The cameras are here. You guys can greet people. We're on air.
No, just to our batch, hope you support us this coming weekend by attending the book launch. It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun to see you guys. It's going to be fun to share the stories with you.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, it's going to be a reunion for the batch as well. It'll be nice to see them. There were 240 of us to start with, and it's considerably less than that, as you can imagine by now. So we really want to go to as many reunions as we can before the book becomes about the former batchmates.
Oh.
Yeah.
kind of grim. No,
when we were using that to motivate ourselves to stick to the deadline. We actually graduated 50 years ago yesterday.
Also,
Yesterday.
literally to the day.
Literally to the day.
Yesterday,
Yeah, and we were gonna launch it yesterday, but Rizal Library said no, we're not open on Sunday, so you have to do it.
Rizal Library, how could you?
Why? Just once?
Their 50th anniversary.
Just once.
Yeah. So we during the 2 years we were working on it, we kept saying to each other, we need to do this on time. Because it's a very significant date, and we want to do it, while everybody still has the eyesight to read it.
And the memory to retain the stories.
yeah.
You still remember what they're writing. Oh my God. Yes, but anyways, Tonette, Joel, thank you so much for coming over to the Roundup and for sharing with us your stories on how this book came to be, and hopefully, to our audience, to our Katipuneros, you guys get to purchase the book as well when it goes on sale on the 24th. So we'll take a short break, but who do we have coming up?
We have the Thesis Prods coming up, the theater arts people who are mounting their theses with the two representatives from the two prods that will be the three representatives actually from the two prods that will be talking about. We're going to be talking to people from Revelacion and from Fluid. You guys might have seen their stuff going on recently. Wonderfully made.
We'll get to talk
graphics.
to them. Yes, indeed. So we'll take a short break. We'll be right back in just a moment. Keep it here on Radyo Katipunan. The Roundup continues right after this.
Checking out the latest happenings in, around, and beyond Katipunan. This is the Katipunan Roundup. Katipunan Roundup.
Radyo Katipunan, 87.9 FM. Mga Katipuneros, it's time to level up! Your talk variety program showcasing the best in media and other fields. As we feature the most loved personalities and the best practices of what we truly refer to as Magis. Together with multi-awarded multimedia guru Mr. Noel Ferrer, let's all level up every Friday from 3 to 6 p.m. here on Radyo Katipunan, 87.9 FM.
Calling on all young male professionals. Do you wish to live an extraordinary life? Are you tired of the routine and mundane and long for a dynamic, adventurous, and even dangerous life? Do you wish to make your life count and hope to make an impact long after you're gone? Do you wish to live a life of service to society, to country, and to dear Mother Earth? Then you are the one we are looking for. Consider the Society of Jesus. Join the church's gallant army and turn your world upside down. Call the Jesuits Vocations Promotions Team 426-6101, local 3406. Once again, 426-6101, local 3406.
Radyo Katipunan. News, insights, inspiration. Radyo Katipunan. Down from the hill and down to the world. Radyo Katipunan, the voice of the Blue Eagle. Meron? Ano nga ba ang meron? Paano nga bang mabuhay ng tapat sa meron? Don't you wish you can relive your philo classes? The terror teachers? The terrible oral exams? Or the even terrifying but liberating and life-changing aha moments? Lundagin mo, baby! Here's your chance! Lundagin mo, baby! Kasama ang mga pilosopong sina Jovi Miroy at Ron Capinding. Lundagin mo, baby! Leaping upward, leaping forward. Lundagin mo, baby! Leaping to greater heights, to greater wisdom, to greater magis. Lundag na, Ateneo! The Jesuit Hour. Get to know the Jesuits. Discover their spirituality, their history, their ministries. The Jesuit Hour. Anything Jesuit, everything Jesuit. The Jesuit Hour. Radyo Katipunan, 87.9 FM.
You're listening to the voice of the Blue Eagle.
You know what it is? On the Hill Campus Radio. Radyo Katipunan, 87.9. The voice of the Blue. Radyo Katipunan.
Checking out the latest happenings in, around, and beyond Katipunan. This is the Katipunan Roundup.
Hello, you're back on the Roundup here on Radyo Katipunan 87.9 FM, the voice of the Blue Eagle.
Kaka.
Exactly.
I love that.
Yeah, and so anyways, a while ago we had
Mr. Chinette and Mr. Joel.
Yes, from Out of the Blue.
Exactly.
And now joining us are some people from the Ateneo Thesis Prods, Fluid and Revelacion. So Ateneo Theater is a vibrant community of passionate storytellers with the drive to tell compelling narratives.
Exactly. The drive.
Yes. Often we hear about the productions of yun nga, the shows from the theater orgs.
Yes.
But today we're gonna put our focus on the thesis productions. So joining us on the Roundup for today are Paul Atienza, who plays Jom in Fluid. We also have Nia Cuy, who plays Simone, also in Fluid. And we have Rods Ebrada, who plays Bernabe in Revelacion. So welcome to the Roundup. And welcome to the RK studio. So yun. We were supposed to get Stop Kiss, but unfortunately, we couldn't get anybody. But we just want to give a shout out to them. Also,
shout out to Stop Kiss, guys.
Shout out to Stop Kiss. Yun. We joked in the chat. We joked in the chat that we have one question. We're gonna ask it, and we're just gonna give 5 seconds of silence.
We're gonna stare into the camera. Like.
Oh, all right. Anyways, yeah, let's get to the first question.
But yeah, so it's so wonderful to have you guys on the Roundup. We'd like to know a little bit more about the shows that you're doing. So in your own words, what are these shows about? What is Fluid about, and what is Revelacion about?
With my own words, I'd say Fluid is like the love language or the love letter from Floyd to, especially as it was rewritten for our thesis. Yeah. We're super grateful, and Fluid is really about art and like how the realities of art and how it differs from to our time now, because it's been written since it's like 20 years old right now.
Yeah.
So having it change to this modern text and to this more contemporary period, it just shifts everything. It's really interesting. Yeah.
Wonderful.
Bouncing off of what Paul mentioned, yes, Floyd Quintos rewrote the script for it to be more Gen Z, knowing that there's been so many renditions of Fluid, so having to get to act in the 2024 version is like such a blessing, and also I'm super thankful that we get to do that. Yeah. And it's also, not only is it a love letter to Ateneo, but it's also a reflection of the art scene now, especially knowing what Fluid is about, which is about artists and all varieties of the industry. Yeah,
music, theater, traditional paintings and art and like that.
Also like organizing, which is an art too.
That is so true.
Simone. Yeah, so it's also very telling of where the art scene is today, which I think shows how great of a writer Floyd Quintos is, because a script that can be molded into something very current is telling of who he is as an artist, but also the piece itself. So yeah, that's kind of what the gist is for Fluid. Yeah.
I don't know. I like how like he literally was just like, yeah, let's change some of that. Just for you guys, I don't know. Like the play seems very, no pun intended, fluid to that discussion. Yun. So anyways, Rods, yung sa Revelacion naman, like what's the play about?
Yeah, so Revelacion is actually a Filipino adaptation of a play made by Howard Brenton titled Paul. Yeah. So it explores the life of Saint Paul and how he discovered his faith.
Move closer.
Oh yeah, sorry. Ayun.
You can even move it like Slade.
There we go.
Go ahead.
And yeah, that's how he finds his faith and the challenges that he comes across. And so it also explores the story of the love in the faith, the love of people around you. And yeah, that's about it.
What a revolution indeed.
You ate that.
2 for 2.
You ate and left no crumbs.
Yes.
But yeah, so interesting. And I think like on that note, we'd like to ask then, parang what drew like as actors and you're all cast members of these prods. What drew you guys to these projects?
For the acting track, because there are different tracks for the theater arts program. For the acting track, we couldn't find like a play that suited all of the acting thesis or all the people in the acting track. We were thinking like, oh, what if we try this play, or what if we try this play? That's what we were trying to do last semester, and it was just so happens like, you know what if we try fluid? Like, it's been done so many times. It's been done like a lot of times, and we're just like, what if we try it? Let's read it. And once we read it, we were like, oh my goodness, it really like registered to us, and we kind of like understood it in a way.
It got real.
It really did, yeah. And I guess it kind of like hit like a eureka moment. I was just like, oh, that's the one, and that's why we tried, and we're like, you know what? Why not go back to fluid? And we have no regrets. Yeah.
For me, on the other hand, I was not actually in that process. I was more so shoved, for the lack of a better word, I guess, to this.
Coerced.
No,
threatened even.
No, Missy, I love you. Missy, I love you. No. Missy actually recommended me to join their production because I am a junior. And so doing my thesis in my third year is kind of weird.
That is so interesting.
Actually, but I'm super grateful that they allowed me in their space, and Missy did too, because I don't think I could do anything like other than fluid now that I think about it. Like, I didn't really choose it, but having worked with the cast as well as reading the text and spending time with Missy and just knowing, like, our advisor, Missy Maramara, like, I feel like I fell in love with it slowly. It was more so, they gave it to me and I was like, okay, I love it. I'll learn to love it, and I do.
So it was a process, sort of like just the more you hung out with it.
Yeah.
I see. Yeah. And then,
yeah, I think I could also say the same thing. I wasn't a part of the very big process of selecting like which thesis. I came into the prod and they were like, oh, hey, so ito na yung prod natin. So he gave me a rundown of what it is. And I'm like, okay, let's try it. And yeah, being a freshman, it's a really big learning experience for me. I saw a lot of people who are under the theater arts course and also under different courses related to that. And yeah, it's a really big chance for me to really learn from them and really see how it is and the beauty of acting and like beauty of exposing this story to other people and for them to really learn from this story. So I think, yeah, that's for me.
And it's so wonderful to hear na parang you're getting like all of these different experiences at different times in sort of like your Ateneo careers. When like, we have somebody doing thesis, we also have a junior who's like doing thesis parang unexpectedly, coercedly. Coerced.
Yes.
So graciously coerced.
Our word for the day is coercedly.
Exactly. But, and then like a freshman, parang it's so interesting to see na parang how like these different stories can sort of like find us or reach us at different times in our lives. It's so interesting.
Yeah. I have no words. I don't know. Like, it's just interesting to hear your stories and like yun nga. Like, I don't know. You've already said what needs to be said. I don't know.
Tinapos ka na.
Yeah. She ended it. She ate
that.
She ate that.
No crumbs.
No crumbs.
Exactly.
Is that in the 2024 edition?
It's on the pubs.
When they said like it was rewritten for Gen Z, I was just like thinking, so what is like Riz mentioned 55 times in the play?
Like we'll watch and we'll have like a Riz counter. Like,
a Riz counter.
Mad Riz. Skibbity. Okay. No. Yeah. Cool. All right. Yeah. Okay, before we get to before we continue, like I just want to do quick shout outs to people in the comments.
Wonderful.
Because they are making some noise. From Erica Del Rosario Isleta, Nia Kuy, superstar.
Hi, Ika.
Also, Kayla Tan says I love you, Nia.
Hi, Kyla.
One of your fellow cast members, I believe, Jello Acosta, is watching right now from Arete.
Hi, Jello.
Hi, Jello.
Yun. And then, let's see. Rafael Cabrera Says,
Oh, hi, Rafi.
Si Ma'am Jennifer Chua, our finance officer at JESCOM. Good afternoon. Good afternoon, Ma'am Jen. And yun, Fluid also is noticing us right now. Baka cast na yan. And finally, Lawrence Miran. No, it's fine. We don't have to. Lawrence! I miss you, buddy! Oh, man. Anyway, so, ayun. I wanted to ask you guys, so wait, because I didn't get to ask pala your courses, but like, I can already assume, like, since you guys are doing this for thesis, theater arts.
How could you
Yes.
tell?
Shocker.
67%. All right, for the win. Rods, are you theater arts?
No.
We had fun. Okay.
That was embarrassing. That's all.
Wait, what is your course, by the way? If I may ask?
I'm ABDPIR.
Oh, fabulous!
Like a pol-sci course na medyo hindi, medyo oo, medyo yes.
Medyo hindi, medyo
United Nations these nations are united indeed.
Exactly.
My gosh. But I want to ask you guys about your experience in theater, because like especially for you, Rhodes, because like, is this your first time on stage? Have you had like prior theater experience? What was that like?
Yeah, funny story actually. I started acting on stage a year ago. Like, literally a year ago in my old senior high school na parang, why not just try it? Try mo. And so yeah, once I tried it, that's when I said na, I'm going to college, maybe this is it. Maybe this is where I'll actually find a passion that I love. And surprisingly, after joining theater orgs here, specifically TA, shout out.
Oh yes, shout out TA.
And yes, and being given this opportunity, that's when I said na, yeah, I really want to continue this. And even if my course isn't that quite related to it, I think it's still a beautiful way to find ways to enjoy my college life and of course meet new people.
Wonderful. And you were even Lee Elias in TA's Elias Salome, right?
Yes.
Nag-abot pa tayong tatlo sa devising workshop.
Yeah.
But yeah. Let's devise right now, guys.
We're in the middle of a reunion.
Let's go. Yeah, thank you.
Man. Okay. Man. Small world. Well, I mean, this is Ateneo after all. Like, people do meet people. But like, yeah, it's nice na we're seeing a reunion before our very eyes. Or rather, we're hearing it before our very ears. We are a radio station here. Ayan. Okay. We did joke about this earlier. We did have one question for Stop Kiss. We'll just say it right now, and then we'll. But although we don't want to say this right now, though, Stop Kiss, do check them out. They already have a Facebook page, so go follow them also for updates on their production. And then
Stop Kiss. Okay.
Oo nga. Learn the lines. Look, we have to learn the lines. Ayan. No, we're not gonna mention the question anymore. And sige, because we are running out of time. We have 7 minutes. Yeah, sure, why not? Anyway, so you guys mentioned that this play, for Fluid, this play was rewritten for the Gen Z audience. How is it different from its previous iterations? Because this was, like, it has a 20-year history, and yet it's being rewritten once again. Like, what are the differences, I guess?
Actually, we were given the OG, using the Gen Z slang, the OG script, and we read that first.
Yeah.
That was actually the first thing that we rehearsed with and that we showcased, because we had like an acting showcase.
Everyone's on Nokia phones.
Yeah, that vibe, like very old, and we could tell. No, but it's like in a good sense, like we could tell where the art scene came from before, and the way that it molded into the Gen Z audience, I guess it's definitely a lot more like technological.
Admittedly, like jumping off from what Nia said, Fluid has always been towards the time about the art scene specifically, and because the art scene is really ever growing and always changing, how it changes to the period now and how things are now is so much different from like 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 20 years ago. So now it just has, of course, the Genzification of some characters. Maybe you better watch so you can find out more.
Exactly.
But it's honestly interesting how so much of the core values of 20 years ago still hold up to now and to this day, especially with the art scene, and it's just super
Like
interesting.
the heart of the text
the heart
is
of the
definitely still there. Despite all the changes, it still has that thesis of what art is. So you should watch and see what that means.
See what the thesis of the thesis is.
Yes.
The thesis of the thesis.
But it's so wonderful that, you know, like this iteration is joining like that long history, because there have been iterations in 2003 and 2007 and 2014, and Missy was even in the 2007
the
one.
first Fluid in Ateneo.
Right, and then for this to be joining that history, so interesting. And speaking of history, religious history.
Yes.
The revelation.
Right.
What is the history of buong history now? What are the history of the apostles? No, I'm kidding. But yeah, test pala.
Arrange the 12 apostles' names in order.
Pinag-defense. But yeah, but roles we'd like to ask. So you can answer this like through revelation fashion in Filipino or in English, whatever your preference is. Pero yun, ano ang kabuluhan ng pagtingin sa punta de vista ni Apostol Pablo? Yes. So you know, because it is based on Paul of Howard Brenton. So parang what is the significance of seeing things from his perspective naman?
Seeing things from St. Paul's perspective, actually, isa to sa pinaka magandang tignan din na puntos, being that isa siya sa mga nagsulat ng gospel. And so, sobrang ganda na makita from his own perspective kung paano niya nakasalamuha, paano niya nakasama si Jesus, paano niya nakita yung pagmamahal niya sa kanyang pananampalataya, sa kanyang pagmamahal sa Diyos at sa mga tao. And isa pa sa pinaka magandang tignan dito is kung paano ito nakikita sa konteksto natin ngayon. Isa rin sa pinakamalaking parte ng kultura natin mga Pilipino is yung pagiging Katoliko, ang ating relihiyon. And itong play na to is isang malaking way para makita natin kung gaano nga ba tayo talaga nananampalataya sa Diyos. And dapat din natin makita kung ano nga ba talaga importansya ng pananampalataya sa Diyos. So, ayun. Yes.
Amen.
Sari-sari. Hatid ng kagawaran ng Filipino tuwing Martes, alas 4 ng umaga. Hindi, pero ano, yeah, pero kasi ano diba, St. Paul really does have a presence in the Bible. I mean, he wrote several letters, the Romans, the Ephesians, Corinthians 1 and 2.
He's got these chapters on lock.
Yeah.
they had them ready. Like, he had these in the chamber.
I do the daily mass here. It's going to.
That is what happens.
You don't do that for so long and then have these. Who betrayed who?
Question of the day.
But it is important to sort of, I guess, like look at it from his perspective, because, like, you know, it's such a refreshing insight as well to look into the sort of that story from his eyes, because he has an interesting story. You know, a man who was once persecuting has then joined, you know, has sided with the persecuted. And so I feel like this is an interesting thing that people should go should go and watch and look forward to.
Exactly.
We have some more comments. Man, they just keep on coming. Lawrence finally noticed me. The light. Yes, correct. Chara also is in the comment section. I heart Jess, Com, Simon, and John, my favorite pair. Yarn.
Hey.
And then, ayun, sige. We also have, si Prof. Batanes, Jonathan Koo, a host of the music class. He's watching right now from Batanes. So, hello, sir. And finally, Ann Kuy.
Hi, Mommy!
Your mom's watching! Yes!
Hi, Mommy! Shout out!
All right, so we are running out of time. So, before we end, yun nga, I guess, we'll leave it to you guys to shout out and like to tell people to invite people to watch your plays right here.
Hello everyone. So please watch Fluid 2024. It is a thesis production under the Fine Arts Department in Ateneo under the advisement of Missy Mara.
Acting track. Woo!
Acting track. Yes, get your tickets at bit.ly/Fluid2024 tickets.
Ayan, so at samahan nyo kami, ang buong team ng Revelasyon at tunghayan ang storya ni St. Paul. And inaanyayahan din namin kayo na manood ngayong Marso 20 to 23. Halos magkasabay lang sa
Yes. 20 to 24.
Yes, ayun. And tunghayan nyo ang iba't ibang storya na nakapaloob sa atin mga tao. And ayun, so shout out sa pamilya ko. Yes.
Yeah, and so 2 tickets this week. Make
Exactly.
Sure, 2 tickets this
You guys
week.
can make it a double feature. You know.
Yes.
Oh,
Right?
actually, watch 2 plays this week. Yes.
Morbenheimer.
It is. It is Revelation. Rebel Fluid.
Flubilation.
Ooh, that sounds like a pandemic.
Let's wrap this up before we go. Let's wrap this up.
Flubilation, guys.
Oh, we can't do it. We gotta go. All right. So thank you, guys. Thank you, Paul.
Thank you so
Nia,
much,
and Rhodes,
guys.
for coming over to the roundup. A few things before we head out. In 30 minutes, do join the Ateneo Publicity and Communications Organization from Ateneo Senior High to bring you SOAR, Seniors on Air Radio at 4:30. And at 6:30, you can catch Lundagin Mo Baby with Doc Jovi and guest host Father Kenneth Masong. They talk about suffering in the light of since Holy Week is upon us. And speaking of Holy Week, do keep in mind that next week we will be off the air the entire week, so we will have no roundup. Then we'll be back on April 1.
Yeah, maybe you guys would like to watch Revelation or Fluid before the Holy Week.
Yeah.
Right, so like Revelation, Fluid, and Stop Kiss. Shout out to people that working on Stop Kiss. If you would like your event featured, like them on the roundup, email us at rk879.marketing@gmail.com. Send us an email, guys, if you'd like to be featured. You can follow us on Facebook, X, and Instagram at Radyo Katipunan. No spaces, just Radyo Katipunan, straight up. And you can subscribe to our YouTube channel. Just search Radyo Katipunan or go to youtube.com/Radyo Katipunan FM. Radyo Katipunan FM. You can listen to us at 87.9 FM within 2 kilometers of Ateneo and online, like the people watching online. Hey guys, well that's on Facebook, the Facebook live stream.
Hello.
But yeah, you can listen to us on the radio online at zeno.fm/RK879FM or on the Zeno radio app, available on the App Store and Google Play Store. That's zeno.fm RK879FM.
Yes. And by the way, when can they catch you playing music with your Arcada?
That's right. Hey, shout out to Jasmine if Jasmine's watching or if
Hello,
Jasmine's out there.
Jasmine.
But yeah, you guys can listen to Jasmine and I play music and yap on Fridays at 12:30.
Yeah.
Same place.
I realized that, and turns out that there are 12 DJs. These 12 apostles. Yeah, apostles.
And who are you, Dave? Are you Jesus?
No! No!
What are you saying?
Me? Absolutely not. Let's wrap this up before we go. So once again, I am Teo.
I'm Iana.
And when you want the lowdown, catch it here on the Roundup. We'll see you guys again on April 1. Till then, take care. Good afternoon.
This is the Katipunan Roundup.
The voice of the Blue Eagle. Radyo Katipunan, 87.9.
You're listening to the voice of the Blue Eagle.
You know what it is. Voice of the Blue Eagle. Radyo Katipunan, 87.9.